What's going on? You always Jason Reviews here, back at it again with another video. As you guys can see, another prediction video for another major event that we have coming up at the top of February, and that is RBE's Divide and Conquer card. Very excited. This card already on paper is looking better than what most of RBE put out. Most of the cards RBE put out last year. Definitely back to the more like big time card feel with two blockbuster matchups here and some decent matchmaking throughout the rest of the card. I'm excited to see RBE back in the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? They have certain talents over there that we want to see on large events that can compete for Cody-like awards. We like to see them get those opportunities, especially in the main event, which we will talk about. But, you know, basic prediction video, we're going to start from the bottom of the card and work our way up. Without further ado, let's predict RBE's Divide and Conquer card. So when it comes to what I would assume is brick matchups, you know, in the fine print down here, I'm not familiar with anyone in that category, which I think is kind of the point of that. It's to introduce new talent, I believe. But you can't do predictions if I don't know, you know what I'm saying, the talent involved, so respect to them. But getting on to the actual card, first matchup is Jay Murda versus Jay Jeans. Jay Jeans, someone I'm fairly familiar with, has definitely been doing his runs on the smaller leagues for the most part. I believe that he battled Ill Will in a one-rounder. Could be wrong about that one. I think that was back in 2021. It was some battle like that. But Jeans has been putting on, you know what I'm saying, good work. Good work as well in the spaces. Fairly familiar with his game. And then Jay Murda obviously is kind of a mainstay over there at RBE. Someone that's been loyal to the brand. Has gotten all types of different kinds of plates from, you know, gatekeeping to top tiers. He's just an RBEer for life. In this one, I'm going to have to go with the vet. I just don't know what Jeans has had that kind of like pop performance yet. You know, to take on someone of this type of name where I feel like, oh, he's just going to, you know what I'm saying, he's just going to walk him. Could see him winning. You know, it depends on what Murda's motivation is for the battle overall, but usually puts on good work on RB, really no matter the opponent. So I'm expecting Murda to come in there kind of with his more comfortable style and maybe show a little bit of levels on the vet side. But from there, we can get into Bad News versus Pain. Bad News is someone that I think I've critiqued. You know, if I haven't critiqued him on this channel, just know I've given Bad News a lot of critique over the years. Really think, especially on the content side, that there's times that he was a zero. And I say all that to say that Bad News has gotten really better in the last year or two. I don't know if he'll ever hit star quality like his delivery is, because he has an amazing delivery. He is a superstar delivery, but it's been usually pinned on to a pen that really isn't acceptable to professional level. But I think he's changed that up a lot. Obviously, his Snake Eyes battle was really good. Definitely a fan of that. He has one other battle that I'm thinking of. What battle? Oh, his J2 battle. I thought he stepped the content up a lot. So what I saw from him in 2022 is definitely a step up. Like his left eye bar versus Snake Eyes, just more tailor-made. I think he even had a rebuttal in there in that battle. So he's definitely, you know, gotten better. He's acceptable level competition. And Payne is probably, if not the main star, top two of the main brick class over there at RBE. Clearly has been winning, you know what I'm saying? Had a big win over Big Cannon. Loved his content in that battle too. There's going to be a lot of grittiness and real talk in this battle just on paper. I think they did a good job stylistically matching these two opponents. This one could be really, really debatable. Going in, I think it is going to be a debatable battle. If I had to predict a winner, I just like what Payne does. I think he has a higher ceiling. Obviously, Bad News has been around for a minute, still getting better. But I think Payne in the shorter amount of time has already shown me significant steps. So if I had to say who with their ceiling would be great, I think Payne has another level of good he hasn't tapped into yet. So for that, even though I do think it'll be a debatable battle, I'm going to go with Payne 2-1 edge. From there, we can go right into B Magic versus Coach Corleone. Now, Coach Corleone, I've caught some of his footage, but really too small of an amount to really give a fair assessment of who he is as a battler across 3 rounds. If he kind of has... when I say stamina, you know what I mean? Some guys usually can give one great round to maybe gas out, maybe after a while sputter out, you know what I'm saying? Don't have the content to carry across all 3. So, being because of that, I can't give too much of a fair prediction on Corleone. I will say that Magic had an under-the-radar 2022. Probably the best year he's had since damn near his prime, just actually putting out good content fairly consistently. Still had some B-Magic-like losses in there, showing out a couple chokes, but he's definitely on the, you know, looked better than he did worse for the most part. So in any Magic battle, especially if he's giving a shot, I do feel confident going in his direction this year, but I can't give a full prediction on the battle if I can't really give a fair assessment of both sides. But don't worry about any of that for the top 4, you know what I'm saying? I definitely know the rest of the battle, the 8 battlers included in these top 4 matchups, and I think this is really where the card, it looks like a great card on paper. And to start with is QB versus Caution. Caution. I think she is great. I think she's one of the best rookies all around in 2022 if you're going to count her as a rookie. You know, obviously going through the brick program, what she's done in the Chrome 23 tournament, both matches she's had with Bonnie in the tournament and out of the tournament now. One clear win, one great debatable battle, showing a little bit of range in that catalog. And then she has one other, and then the win on Yoshi G in the tournament. So she's seen some fair competition now on the ladies' side. As for QB, on her comeback run a little bit, obviously hasn't really had much of wins to speak of for yet. Obviously losing to A-Ward. The body lost to 40 bars and losing a judge decision to Shayna in a closer battle than the other two. She has gotten better every time she stepped outside, but I think the caution is in groove right now with her content. Obviously has a more modernized look on the game because she is a modern talent. She's a newer talent. So while QB is knocking the rust off her, figuring things out, Caution has the gun talk that she has in her thirds, really walk her down type of delivery, good content, just has a better pen than I probably have ever seen QB have in terms of actually what she's written. That's just the evolution of the game, though. You know, the content that was great back then isn't as clever as it is now, and you have a battler coming in now, learning by the level of pen there is. It sounds crazy, but Caution really writes better than you probably have ever seen from a QB. And with that being said, while QB has gotten a little better, straight disrespect, you're not going to outvet Caution. I think that she's already seasoned enough and good enough of a rookie that she's just in for a fight. So I actually have Caution 2-1, if not a clear 30. Just really impressed with what she does content-wise, and I have her clearly winning this battle. Then you get to Rosenberg Raw versus Jag, which is a battle which, you know, I've talked about this with RBE, with what's left on their roster. There is sometimes they kind of mix and match with just who's on the card. I feel like Rose and Jag, although they have, you know, popped a little bit of trash talk back and forth, Caps Live, you know what I'm saying, obviously talked a little crazy about each other. This is one that just feels like, well, Jag's back on the roster, Rose needs to battle somebody on the big card, so you get this. I will say that Jag's last performance versus Show Off was dope. Dope. Very, very shocking at that. His second was a highlight with one of the best bars of the year with the show and tell bar. Even his first was, you know what I'm saying, really good. Just probably the best performance he's had. Rose coming off of the Bill loss, which you could chalk a lot up to mic issues. Not that his content was the greatest. I thought it was good, but he didn't have time to build up momentum. Just a really weird and bad look for him, you know, sadly. A little bit out of his hands, a little bit not. And now you got this battle. I love what it's going to be, gritty and rapping, just like QB versus Caution. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be definitely all up in each other's grill for the most part. Might even have a near scuffle or something of that nature. I do like what Raw does more typically. I do like the fluidity of his raps when he gets in his real talk and he just goes with those flows. There's a lot to like about Rose's style. Content-wise, it's as simple as if Jag is as good as he was versus Show Off, he can really beat anybody. So if that performance shows up, what can I say? The Jag I've seen in every other performance besides that, I'd have losing. So it puts you in a little bit of a weird spot. Do you want to bet on consistency? Is this the new Jag? It could be. I do have a little bit more faith, though, in Rosenberg's ceiling compared to Show Off. I just like what he does on that grittiness tip. I think that he's a better pure rapper than Jag is. I like the flows that he gets into. And I think it's going to be a great real talk battle. No obvious angles, I think, out there on Raw. You know, I'm just a fan of Raw in this battle. I could see Jag winning it. Might even be a debatable battle, but I do have Rosenberg 2-1 going in. And that leads us into these top two battles, which for me, like the card, think it's a decent card otherwise, but these two battles are what makes it a great card. I like when RBE is finally able to book kind of like big-time matchups. It doesn't, when you really map it all out, they might have a limited amount left, but they have two of them on this card. First one being Big K versus A-Ward, which is a reschedule from Closure 2. And I have predicted this battle before on my Closure 2 predictions, and I was on an island. I had Big K. I had predicted Big K this whole time. I think that in this type of matchup, grudge match-ish, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Big K's kind of record versus, man, how do I say this in the proper way? You know, I'm going to say white rappers for the most part, but I just think it's when you look at something like a K versus an Ilmac, a K versus a Mad Flex, and guys that kind of have that all around, you know, very good rappers. Two of those are one of the best battle rappers of all time, and Ilmac. And I kind of file A-Ward into a little bit of that category, and K has had a good record against them, so I think stylistically he'll have some good angles, even though he's a Christian rapper. He might have a more creative Christian angle. I think K can be underrated when he applies himself, especially with angling. So I had K, but I will say, now with the delay, A-Ward not having as busy of a schedule, multiple months to re-prep for this, and the respect I have for A-Ward as one of the better battle rappers in the world right now, just the consistency he's shown, I am switching back Still have the battle as debatable. I still think this is going to be a debatable battle, but I have to go with A Ward 2-1 edge to the respect of what he's done recently. And now that his schedule's cleared up, I feel like he might have even had more time to kind of hone in on Big K, maybe change a few things around. I'm not expecting any chokes, anything of that nature, or any lackluster material. I could see a great battle. I do see a great debatable battle both ways. I don't think K is just going to do 2 minutes, barely wrap, do the minimum. I expect to see one of the big Ks that battled an Ill Will, battled the JC, battled Calico, and things of that nature. But with the extra prep time and where they're both at right now, I think it's going to be a great grudge match, but I have to go with A Ward 2-1 edge. And that leaves us with the final battle of the night, the main event that we're looking forward to, and that is Hollow Denom versus Ill Will. Ill Will had a lackluster 2022, and at the top of the 2022, I remember I wanted him to battle Hollow and Hitman. I said that it's perfectly set up. He's done enough for it now. And if he can get that, I think Chess called him out. I'm like, if he gets these 4 or 5 plates, we could see an Ill Will 2022 Champion of the Year run on the way. Obviously, went on to lose to Rosenberg Raw 3-0. Kind of didn't battle that much. Battle Head Ice. 40 and him had a good battle at the end of the year, but for the most part, he just didn't get those big-time plates. But now we start off top of February of 2023, and he is getting Hollow, one of those God-tier level plates, and I think you get an Ill Will that's better than any of the Ill Wills you've seen recently. Now, he was good versus 40, decent versus Head Ice, and even decent versus Reed Dollars, you know what I'm saying? But I think you get an elite Ill Will that's extremely motivated. I don't know, at all last year, while he did have Reed, who is a good plate, but I don't think he had a plate of this nature where it's still kind of career-defining, career-shaping for him. When you get to, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the game, when you get a Hollow, a Hitman, a Calico, you can change, a good portion of your legacy in these kind of big-time, Super Bowl finals-esque type of matches. So I do think you get the all-around, the Daylight Ill Will, which you see in the flyer here, Daylight level Ill Will. I do think that you get one of those top level J level Ill Wills. And as for Hollow, he's been getting a little bit better every battle. He starts out with the Nitty battle, which I personally had him losing. I think there's things that get looked over in there, but debatable on the rewatch to the masses. A little bit mucky, though, footage-wise. K-Shine, better, 1-3-0. Still a bad battle, but he's getting better. DNA, step back. But then you get Geechee, and it's a step up in the Hollow battle. So I've been critical of Hollow post-Tay-Rock, post-2016 footage quality-wise, but the Geechee and the Averb one-rounder on SM are both kind of a step in the right direction. I think versus Will, they complement each other stylistically. There is the unorthodox effect, so some of the weird flow pockets and kind of stuff Hollow can do, Will is known for. It's going to be a little bit more accepted in this battle, so I think that you see a little bit more of a comfortable Hollow, and I think it's going to be a witty battle. These guys are both all around. They're jack of all trades is what they both are, so you could see random comedy, punches, rebuttals. I think you just get a little bit of everything, and it's an action-packed battle from start to finish. If I did have to predict a winner, when it comes to these big time plates, motivation is a huge factor for me. Who's more motivated? Not to say that either are. I bet both are very motivated. These are two great competitors. But for Ill Will, he's been waiting on one like this for a while, and we've been waiting to see Ill Will in a situation like this for a while. While with Hollow, it's kind of like that championship mentality. He has to manifest the motivation to defend his spot, just defend his belt, his title, kind of, you guys get what I'm saying. So for that, I love what Ill Will does, especially if this is on the stage. I think Ill Will is a little bit more explosive on that big stage, even if it's only a couple hundred people or more, But I think I have Ill Will 2-1 in this battle. Could see Hollow winning it. Like I said, he's been trending in the right direction, but I think there's a little too much on the line for Ill Will. I think a win here sets up that Hitman plate, sets up maybe 2023 being that another huge Champion of the Year type of year that he had similar to a 2019 if he's able to start it off with a great win here. So very excited. Easily my battle of the night pick. I think this is the best battle on the card, although I think Big K and A Ward is also very great, as well as QB and Caution. But very excited for this one. And as I said, I do have Ill Will 2-1 edge in this battle. And that is my predictions, guys, for RB's Divide and Conquer card. Let me know down below in the comments down below any of your hot takes, battle of the night, performance of the night. Do you have anyone being especially disappointing? Just let me know what you think is going to happen on this card. I think most of us are very excited for Will over Hollow more than anything. It's just so hard to get a God tier to step out nowadays, man. So it's just fun to see them step out for anybody, especially someone that deserves it like Ill Will that we've been waiting to see. And as I said, if Ill Will is able to win this battle, I want Ill Will and Hitman. Hopefully, I know that it takes a lot. I know Hitman just got booked versus Easy. How many times we battle in a year, we don't know. But he's been obviously very open, battling over at RBE. He's done it multiple times now for a few years. And I think him and Ill Will is one of those next biggest matchups. For those of you that saw my Hitman Hollow Book'em, that I think Hitman should take next. I think Ill Will should be Hitman's next battle after Easy. And it all rests on how he does in this Hollow battle. And besides that, good card overall. Can't wait to see some new talent. You know, J Jeans that I'm not too familiar with, Coach Corleone. And also just some big-time matchups from some of RBE's staple talents. So very excited for this one, y'all. You know, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the card and who your performer of the night or just your standout take is going to be. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.